Hi, I'm Chris for RightSizeLife.com. Cooking in the summer is always difficult. It takes too long, it heats up the house, and our go-to home meals generally feel too heavy. Even grilling out may seem like too much of a production when we're coming back hot and tired from a long summer day. One answer that melds speed with the availability of summer ingredients is the stir fry. So let's go to the kitchen and quick cook some dinner. Many think that stir frying is the purview of Asian cooking and spice palates. Certainly Asian cuisine is known for great stir fry. However, almost any flavor profile will lend itself to the stir fry technique. Italian and Mediterranean ingredients are particularly adaptable. If we think about it, fajitas are just south of the border stir fry. Even solid Middle European cooking, like sausage and cabbage, can be adapted into a stir fry. Now we have to talk equipment when talking stir fry. You can, if you have a good pan, use a regular skillet. Just make sure it's a heavy skillet that will take to high heat well. However, the disadvantage is that you have to work in batches, and this can lead to a lesser result, in particular the texture of the vegetables. So the better answer is to buy a good wok, not an electric wok, an old-fashioned metal wok. Now just a few words about oils. There are many types of oil available. What we need for stir fry is a clean, high-heat oil. This does not mean extra virgin olive oil. This means oils like canola, grapeseed, sunflower, safflower, and peanut oil. The key here is the word refined, not virgin. There are refined olive oils that will do for stir frying. However, the safest thing to do is to have a straightforward, high-heat oil always available in your kitchen, such as safflower or peanut, and save your flavorful virgin oils, like high-end olive oil, as a finishing touch or for low-heat cooking. When it comes to basic ingredients, almost anything will lend itself to the stir-fry process. The key is to remember that size matters when cutting up things for stir-fry. Meats like pork, chicken, or beef should be thinly sliced. The same is true for firmer vegetables like carrots, cabbage, celery, and bok choy. Vegetables that cook quickly, like zucchini, summer squash, onions, peppers, and mushrooms, can have some thickness to them. Finally, vegetables that are already thin, like green beans and pea pods and asparagus, are pretty much ready to go. Also, uniformity is important. Like in any Asian restaurant, try to cut things the same size. This will, of course, take some practice. However, in our size households, basic stir-frying is a go-to meal a couple times a week. So, developing some skill at cutting has a great return on investment. Finally, avoid canned and frozen vegetables. They seem like a convenience at first, but they're too moist and too mushy for the stir-fry process and will yield very poor results. For this Italian stir-fry, we're going to begin by making a basic marinade. Now the basic marinade is going to be a 2-to-1 marinade, so 2 parts oil to 1 part vinegar. And I'm using the same oil that I'm going to stir fry with, which means I'm going to use a safflower or high heat oil. This is a very basic marinade. It's red wine vinegar, salt, pepper, garlic powder, and finally, some dried basil. Go ahead and whisk your marinade thoroughly to combine. This isn't like a vinaigrette where it has to be totally incorporated. Once you get it good and combined, take your thinly sliced chicken and stir to coat. Now with most stir fries, you do not need to marinate your proteins very long. 30-40 minutes is plenty of time. Mostly you're coating the proteins rather than trying to get them marinated fully. Basic stir frying is really very simple. Start by getting your wok good and hot. It might even smoke a little. This is okay. Remember to ventilate your kitchen area well, as stir frying will produce smoke. Now once the wok is good and hot, first add your marinated chicken. It will cook quickly, so keep it moving in the bottom of the wok. Once it is done cooking, usually 3 or 4 minutes. Remove it from the pan. Now for our Italian style stir fry, we have thinly sliced up 1 small piece of pancetta. This is a great flavor enhancer to any stir fry. Once it is fully rendered, remove it from the wok as well. Add a bit more oil and then begin to cook your vegetables. Sequencing is really important. Vegetables that need to cook longer, obviously, like green beans and carrots, need to go in first. Then onions, peppers, mushrooms, cabbage. Finally, quick cooking vegetables, in particular things like summer squash, zucchini, and sprouts, go in and cook for only about a minute. Add back in the chicken and finish with whatever garnishing you might like. Of course, you can take your Italian stir fry and serve it on top of some pasta. However, if you use hearty vegetables like green beans, you can get away with just a good bread, and then top the stir fry with some fresh parsley and grated Parmesan Reggiano cheese. Don't forget to experiment with flourishes and toppings at the end of the stir fry. You can add olives, capers, fresh squeezed lemon or lime juice, nuts, grated cheese, a bit of wine, fresh herbs. The list of possibilities are endless. Once you have the basic technique of quick cooking or stir frying mastered, you will have opened a gateway into an amazing method of cooking that is timely, healthy, and above all, won't heat up your house on hot summer nights. That is all for this video demo. For a written version of this demo, more stir frying possibilities, and other cooking and lifestyle tips, go to RightSizeLife.com. RightSizeLife.com is an online community dedicated to those living solo or in pairs. RightSizeLife.com. Big living on a small scale.